shall look at what we call, we're looking at the control test that was written on the 4th of September 2024. And we are looking at these questions here. Let's go straight to question number 1. Define the term a floor plan. What we expect you to have here. What we expect you to have here, it's a drawing. A drawing showing the layout of a house. That's what we are looking for. You can explain it in your different way, but you have to say that you're explaining the layout, how the house will be built. All right. Then this symbol here, it's used to represent doors. Identify the shown map below. This one we call it the elevation. It's the elevation map. Okay. Interpret the scale shown, which is 1 is to 100,000, which simply means you say 1 unit on the map represents 1 unit on the map represents 100 units in real life. That's what simply means. State whether the following statement is true or false. When analyzing the best packaging, arrangement, and material, always keep the following in mind. Practicability, optimum use of space, and cost effective, which is true. 1, how practical is it? 2, optimum, how much space will it be? 3, how much will it cost you? All right, look at question number 2. Someone borrowed 50,000 from a financial institution at an interest rate of 10% per annum, compounded half yearly for the period of 2 years. Calculate the final amount she will have to pay back at the end of the loan. What I want you to understand here, first and foremost, this is per annum, but compounded half yearly for a period of 2 years. That means the money gets interest every after half a year. So what you're going to do for me, interest rate is going to be divided by 2. So meaning 10 is going to be divided by 2, and the answer becomes what? 5%. And the period is going to be multiplied by 2. Why? Because we are looking for halves. In 2 years, how many halves do we have? We have 4 of them, which is 2 times 2. Now we are good to go to calculate the amount. What we are going to do, since it's compound interest, we are going to increase. And the first half, we shall say 1,05. How do I get the 1,05? I took 100 plus the 5, this 5 here. Then I divided by 100. You end up having 105 divided by 100. You have 1,05. We are increasing. Remember, compound interest, it behaves in the same manner as inflation, or we use the increasing method. All right. So the first half, we shall say 1,05 times the money the person borrowed, the 50,000. So we end up having 52,500 in the first 6 months. Now we go to the second 6 months. 6 months, I mean the other half, which is second and 10, this one does not change, but the amount here has to change. So we bring in the money that you got in the first half. So here we go to the final answer as 55,125. That is the second half. We go to the third half, which means we still use the same formula. And we say 1,05 times the 55,125, the amount that we got in the second half. And the answer in the third half is 57,881 rand 25 cents. Keep it aside. We come to the fourth term, which becomes 1,05 times 57,800. The final answer became 60,775 rands 31 cents. So this is the final answer. They're asking us, calculate the final amount she will have to pay back at the end of the loan period. This is how much she will pay back at the end of the loan period. This is how much she will pay back at the end of the loan period. All right, we look at question number 3. Question number 3, it looks at the map here. Mr. Adams took his life science learners on an excursion to Mandikwe Game Reserve. Mandikwe. They drove from Johannesburg to Mandikwe Game Reserve and planned to enter the game reserve at Abuja Stokop Gate. So the map below indicates the route, cities or towns, and distance in kilometers between the places. So this is the map we are going to look at. People are coming from Johannesburg. They are entering from this other game here. They are going to see this. You see this space here that's dark. This is where they are. But they will enter from this other gate. There are 2 gates. But they will use Abuja. The Abuja gate. All right, let's look at the question that we have. 3.1. Give the general direction. The moment you hear general direction, we look at we look for what we call the compass. So now the compass is the one that has the cardinal directions. So they're asking the general direction of Mandikwe from Johannesburg, meaning you're in Johannesburg and you're heading to Mandikwe. Mandikwe, we've just seen that it's in this direction here, which will become, because we believe this is north, west, east, and south. So we believe that is it. And actually, even the compass is north. So our answer here is supposed to be northwest. All right. Explain the shortest route that could be used to drive from Johannesburg to Abuja Gate. So here we go. The gate is right here. So we cannot use this other. This one here, it's no area. But we are going to use this one here, this other route. So how can you describe that? All you say, use N14 up to this town here. Afterwards, actually, N14 up to Swartzberg. Then from there, use N4 to Zurast. Then use R49. You are explaining. You can highlight if we have a highlighter. We are using this route here. When we reach here, we need to use this. We come there, we use this other one. We come to Zurast, we use that. And this is the shortest route. You can describe what you're seeing there. All right, we look at the other question, which says, calculate the distance between Zurast and Rustenburg if the total route in distance from Rustenburg to Abuja Gate is this much. So let's identify where we are. What are we looking for? So the total distance from here to this gate here, it's given. So another thing, the distance in between these towns is that the distance in between here, that's what we are going to look for. It's unknown, we shall say it's an empty space. Then this one here, it's given. This is the distance from this town here to the gate. It's 88,1. Whereas from Rustenburg to Center, it's 62. So if the missing distance here, if we have the missing distance, they have told us the total distance, if you add all the distances, you should get 221. So we shall see, 2. So we shall say 88,1 plus the missing distance plus the 62, I'm adding this 62 here, this one, 62,4. 4 should give me the total answer as, all right. So there we need to 88,1 plus 62,4. You end up having 150. So simply meaning 150 is supposed to be subtracted from here, 150,5. So the moment you subtract that, it becomes the unknown, the distance, which is what? The unknown distance. So our box will equal to, wait a little bit there. Our box equals to 70. Don't forget the units. Kilometers. All right. Here I told you to you look at the map and explain very well. Determine the shortest route distance from Johannesburg to Swaziland or Swaziland. Okay, it's fine. Let's look at that and we see. We are aiming at coming from Johannesburg. We can either use this route here. We come to that place, or we can use this other one here. We shall start from here. You come, you go, you come. There are two routes. So which one is shorter? Now, allow me use this. I will say the first route I would advise, I would say via what? Coxter. So we say the first route I would say via Coxter, and we are going to add this distance. As you see, we have 70 plus the 71,9 plus 35,2. These are the distances we are going to add up to find the route. Whereas on the other side of the road, we are going to add, we shall add the 65, we add the 129, and we add the 64. These are the distances that we are looking at. So we should come down and we say, via Coxter, we shall need to add, we say, we are adding 70 plus 71,9 plus 35,2. Those are the distances we are adding. So we shall end up having the answer as 70 plus 71,9 plus 35,2. You have your answer as, that's your answer. Then the other one is via Rustenburg. The distances for Rustenburg are up there. We are going to say one is 65 plus 129 plus the 62,4. What answer do we get? All right, 129 plus 65, 129 plus 65 plus 62,4. What answer do we end up having here? 256,4. So the shortest distance or the shortest route is via, you can say via what? It's called the Coxten, or you can say via Malsberg. Okay. We look at question number 4. Question number 4, it has a map here. Adam's family is traveling from Amtata to Harry Smith to attend the wedding of one of their relatives. Use the strip map between Amtata and Harry Smith and answer the questions that follow. And answer the questions that follow. All right. So what we're going to do, What we're going to do, it's going to be so simple. Let's study the map and we see. Okay. Umtata, it's here. It has a distance of 238 from Mutata to East London. And yet the distance that we see on the map here, this one here, it's only this straight road. Together? Then Harris Smith is off the main road. So simply meaning, okay, from East London to Windbag, we have 662 kilometers. That's the distance that we have to know. So we come down and we find out. The Adam family is traveling to Harris Smith on N6. Do they have to turn left or right to get to Alwan North? Remember, they are from Umtata, they are going up there. So when they reach here, are they turning left or right? They are turning left because you are heading like that. So this other side is a right and this other side is a left. So you need to turn. So it's left. The answer there is supposed to be left. Left. Then determine how long it will take Mr. Adams to complete his journey if he travels at an average speed of 120 kilometers. Write your final answer in hours and minutes. Now, when you look at this, indeed, they want us to write down. They want us to write down what? Time. But the formula given to us, it says distance equals to speed times time. This is when you remember that other triangle that your teacher taught you, because the distance, the formula that we need here is for time. We don't need the one for distance, but we have distance given to us already. So what we're going to do, we draw this other small triangle that we remember from our teacher. So we are looking for time. So time, you pull it out, what's remaining? It's d over s. Wonderful. So you substitute inside. What is the distance? Because we already have the speed. Speed is already given to us, it's here. Distance is missing. But remember, Mr. Adams, to complete this journey, which journey? From Umtata to Harris Smith. We need to find the distance. What we're going to do, we shall say, distance. First and foremost, you need to know the distance from Umtata to East London. Plus the distance from East London to Windbag, we already seen it at 662 kilometers. Plus, what are we plusing? We are plusing the distance from Windbag to Bethel. It's 130. Then it's from Bethel that you're going to go to Harris Smith with 102. So we have to add that up. 130, 131 plus 102. This is the distance covered. So we do that and we say 238 plus 662 plus 131 plus 102. So the distance covered is 1,133. These are kilometers. So we've got our distance. We already have our speed. Then what's remaining? What's remaining is to substitute into the formula. Then let's look for our time, which says 1133 divided by 120. So 1133 divided by 120. Here you have 9,444. At this moment in time, that's when you press, there's a key that looks like this on your calculator. You press it immediately. It will give you 9 hours, 26 minutes. Okay, the calculator gives you 30 seconds, but they told us the answer has to be in hours and minutes. This is how we get our answer for question number 4.2. Okay, we look at question number 4.3. Mr. Adams claims that their return trip will cover a distance, or it will cover, yes, it will cover a distance of 1,375 kilometers. Verify showing all calculations, whether his claim is valid or not. But I've just showed you that the distance they're going to cover, it's going to be 23 to move up to East London. Then from East London to Windberg, they need to cover that much. From Windberg to Bethel, they cover a distance of 102. And we got the answer as this much. But now he's talking of the return trip. We need to multiply by 2. The answer we get there is 2,266 kilometers. Don't forget to conclude and we say his claim is invalid. The claim is invalid. Okay, 4.4. 4.4. The minibus that Mr. Adams will be traveling in has a fuel consumption of 7.8 liters per 100 kilometers. Look at how much he will pay for petrol for a return trip if the cost of petrol is 23 rands 11 cents per liter. First and foremost, we need to find out how much petrol do they need. So the return trip, we've only seen it that it's going to be this much. We divide this by 100 to find out how many. 100, we need to find out how many 100 kilometers we have here. So 2266 divided by 100, you get your answer as 22.66. Multiply this by 7.8 to find out the number of liters. We need approximately 176.7. Okay, 74. These are the liters, but each is 23 rands 11 cents. Let's multiply there, and they might spend 4,084 rands 65 cents. All right, we go to the next question, which is question number 5. Mr. DeBay is planning on storing food parcels in a storeroom. Study the diagram below, and answer the questions that follow. The dimensions of the storeroom is 6.5 meters by 5 meters. That means this is length and this is the width. It's fine. We continue. So now, option 1. Okay, let's see the questions. How many boxes may be stored on the floor of storeroom if Mr. D uses option 1? Let's go and we see what's going to happen. Now, when you look here, the long side of the box is facing the short side. Okay, it's fine. Then the short side of the smaller box is facing the longer side, the smaller box. So which means it's going to be 5 divided by 1,2, whereas 6,5 divided by 0,7. So 5 divided by 1,2. We have the answers 4,167, but boxes can't be in halves, so we shall say 4 boxes. On this side here, we shall need 4 boxes. What about on this other side? So we are dividing and we are finding out 6,5 divided by 0,7. The answer is 9,29. Boxes can't be in halves. These are 9 boxes. So on this other side, which is the longer side, we shall need 9 boxes. So all in all, how many boxes are they going to be? So it will be 4 by 9, which becomes 36. 36 what? Boxes. When we are looking at this arrangement, we look at this versus this, because these are the opposite sides. This will be versing this, because this is facing this side. All right. We come to question number 5 point. So we've seen here, show all calculations. We've seen that we shall need what? 36 boxes. Mr. Benny claims that Mr. DB claims that he could pack more boxes on the floor of storeroom if he used option 2. Verify showing your calculations. Okay. As I showed you. Now, this one now, it's facing this. So we shall find out. So if it's facing this, that means the 5 is going to be divided by the 0.7, which is 5 divided by 0.7. You have the answer 7.14. Remember, these are boxes. We only need 7 full boxes. Then the next one will be the 65. You see the 1.2 is on this other side. So it's facing or versing this. So 65 divided by 1.2. So it becomes 5.42, which became 5. So option 2, how many boxes are there? We get these numbers here. Here on the long side, we shall need 7 boxes. On this other side, with the method, we shall need 5. So all in all, how many are there? It will be 7 times 5, which becomes 35. So I've showed the calculation of option 2. So here we come and claim and we say the claim is invalid.